Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Happy Meadow Tales, where every day is an adventure, and every tale has a tale. I'm your host, Steve Kitts, and today we've got sunshine, splashes, and a sprinkle of mystery with Max the Mouse and Scout the Squirrel. You know they're best friends. So grab a lemonade, stretch out under a shade tree, and let's dive into today's story. A fun day in the sun. It was a bright and sunny morning in Happy Meadow. Max the Mouse was already up and tying on his little apron. He peeked out the window of their tiny little workshop just in time to see his best friend, Scout the Squirrel, bouncing over with a smile as wide as the morning sky. "Ready to make magic," Scout chirped as he burst through the door. Max grinned. "Only if you brought the glitter glue." In their cheerful shop, nestled beneath the old maple tree, the two best friends spent the morning building handmade toys for all their neighbors. There was a wooden ladybug pull toy for the baby bunnies, a spinning top that sang just for Jacob the tadpole, a puzzle shaped like a pie for Grandpa Toad, because, of course, he loves pie. The hours flew by, filled with sawdust, giggles, and the squeak of Max's measuring tape. But just as the sun reached its highest point in the sky, Scout leaned back and said, "You know what I think, Max?" "What's that?" "It's time to splash!" Max didn't need to be told twice. They packed a picnic basket and grabbed their floaties. Max had the one shaped like giant cheese wheels and scampered down to the familiar path leading to Farmer Brown's pond. The water sparkled like a jewel, and already splashing there were Thor and Red, the young bulls, who were more muscle than sense, but they were sweet as corn. "Cannonball!" Thor shouted as he launched himself into the air, sending a wave that washed over Max and Scout in a bubbly greeting. Scout laughed and dove in after him. "Race you to the lily pad!" And for hours they swam, floated, and played pond tag. Red showed off his underwater bubbling skills, and Max accidentally invented a new sport, leaf surfing. By the time the sun began to set below the trees, their fur was soaked, their bellies were full from the picnic, and their hearts were lighter than dandelion fluff. As they walked back to Happy Meadow, paw and tail dripping, the smile stretched from ear to ear. The sky turned from an orange to a purple, and the fireflies began to blink their soft hellos. Perched high in an old pine tree, Ollie the owl adjusted his spectacles and hooted. "Ah, Max and Scout, just in time for tonight's riddle." They plopped down on a soft patch of moss, listening to Ollie clear his throat. "I can be cracked, made, towed, and played. What am I?" Max looked puzzled. Scout scratched his head with a wet paw. After a moment, Max's eyes lit up. "It's a joke!" Ollie chuckled. "Wise as always, little mouse. It is a joke indeed." They all laughed, and the sound danced through the trees like a lullaby. The end. And as Max and Scout curled up underneath the stars, the lesson that they took with them into their dreams were simple. There's nothing better than a day spent doing what you love with the ones who make you smile. And a little swim never hurts either. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Happy Meadow Tales podcast. I've been your host, Steve Kitts, sending love from Happy Meadow Tales. Be sure to turn in next time for more adventures, friendship, and maybe another riddle or two. Until then, keep your tail wagging and your hearts open. Be kind to others. God bless.